would Footsie assess the health of the grime scene at the moment?
Boy, I think the grime scene is as healthy as it's ever been. But I think the grime scene is the grime scene, innit? It's a scene. And then it's connected to other bits and bobs. So it's a good moving ground. And I think everyone, I don't know, I think it could be a good and a bad thing, because a lot of the new guys coming in, they know there's something to go for. So I don't know if some of them are going for it a bit too early, maybe. Do you know what I mean? That you should grease it down a bit more. Do what you enjoy before you go for that. Because if you fail at that, getting a failure under your belt too early in the thing can be finishing, you know what I mean? So, and failure whatsoever is just finishing, do you get me? So you got to know what you're doing, especially if you're going for the commercial outlook, if that's where you see yourself. I think a lot of guys should question themselves, are you that guy first? Don't just see it, like, think about it, do you know what I mean? Try and work your way into it. When you think you're saying, yeah, I'm saying mad stuff now, I could go for one of them tunes. Do it. Don't just do one of them tunes thinking I say mad stuff. Make sure you've been saying that. Document it. Yeah, I've said crazy stuff on this. I want to go forward. You get me? So I think it's a good and bad thing, everyone knowing there's a prize now. Because when we come into it, there weren't no prize. Like, no one knew about deals or anything like that. Man was going and pressing up white labels and just trying to get your tune played on radio, pirate. So today, MCs are coming in knowing there's deals and pies on tables that they can get, to get me. So, but you have to do certain things to get that pie. So I don't know if guys are ready for it yet, you know what I mean? But the scene's healthy though. There's a lot of music coming from the scene.
So in those early days for you, man, what was the objective? What was the dream for you? Because obviously the MCs weren't getting signed like that. There wasn't these lucrative deals.
I don't know, the dream, I was living it, I suppose, which was just get known, man. Get around the country, get abroad. You even got abroad before deals and all that. So we was doing stuff before the deal or the big idea of a deal was a thing, you know what I mean? We was doing stuff. There's a list of man could tell you they travelled before they had a deal, you know what I mean? So it's what it is, man. It's one of them things, I think. Yeah.
So we've been touching on how the scene is now as opposed to how it was back then, and new wave is the term that's been coined for the new MCs that are about at the moment. There's literally a handful. There's not a lot. Whereas like back in the early 2000s, 01, 02, 03, like with the first emergence of grime, there was a lot more MCs. Like the similarities now as opposed to then is there's a lot of violent bars. But then it's like,
but then was crazy violent as well.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It was crazy violent.
But you know the difference then? Man rid a lot of different tempos and beats, and they weren't just grime. So it was wider. If you listen to an old school Sidewinder set, it's not a grime set. There's grime tunes in there, but guys like Slimzy, he played everything, bro. Do you know what I mean? There was tunes from Zinc and that, then breakbeat tunes. They were big. That's what the scene was. And guys was MCing on that. So for the listener, there was more to listen to, I think.
But though, yeah, there was more to listen to. And what I was going to go on to say is, well, there seems like there was more variation back then. Because what I'm saying is now, when you look at the handful of new wave MCs there are now, who would you compare and say, who's your Wiley now? Who's your D Double now? Who's your Kano now?
Do you know what? It's hard because you just named like 3 really original big guys, you get me? I don't know, in life that you don't get many of those people, bruv. You're not gonna see, I've never come across another Double. Anyone who's like Double is a unique person, you get me? So, but that uniqueness I think needs to be worked on. Do you know what I mean? Dizzy, Double, Wiley, all these guys, they were unique, but they worked at it and got better. And now they're doing stuff that is matching their abilities, you know what I mean? So they just weren't, Dizzy at 17 just didn't go and do a mad thing, did he? Like, his Boy in the Corner album was the best of him, not anything else. Wide, it was wide, And he showed that he was just a wide brain. His brain was wider than others. Even though he was spraying in the same pit, his music, when he done his album, it showed you, wow, man, when a Mercury, it blew doors off. Do you know what I mean? Let alone open them. So
why do you think that's lacking now?
I don't know, man. I think in chasing that dream, to cut a shortcut, I think it's quicker to do what's been done before you, rather than make your own lane, which is going to take time, which is what all these other people that guys are looking to, that's what they did. They took time and did a thing. So for you to just copy their top thing, but they ain't just got a top, they've got a whole list of other stuff they've done. But you're just looking at the highlighted stuff and thinking, yeah, I can do that. But the reason why they did that was all because of this other stuff. Do you know what I mean? So I think a nice amalgamation of work can lead to like that tune. You will just do that tune, bro. Like, that's what I believe. If you've done so much work, that tune will just come out. But if you ain't done that work, that tune's going to be hard to do for you, even if you've got the ability. Do you get me?
It might be self-explanatory, the mixtape title, but just, you know, break it down for the people that don't know.
Well, do you know what I mean? For those that can see this, they know what time it is. You get me? And for those that don't know, man, Zot Break is just one of my sayings, man. I just started off saying Zot Break anytime man sent for the Rizla. And then the OCBs, you get me? And then I had these bunch of tunes. On Zot Break 1, I said, what should I call it? It was just the natural title, Zot Break. You get me? So then now, I thought ZB2 is a snazzier one. Because everyone, like, yeah. It created the wave. Zot Break 1 created the wave, and then now, we're in, you get me? Yeah. So people know about the Z and the B, man.
And I'm happy to see the physical CD. A lot of artists are putting out their music nowadays, and you don't get the physical CD. Now tell me the reason why you still done the physical CD.
Because I'm old school, man. Number one, mainly, like, I like to see stuff, innit? You know, it's hard to size or mark up like what you've done when you can't see it. Like, you can't be thinking, oh, I'll put out a deep release, but then you have to go to your laptop and open it up and do all this stuff to see your release. Nah, I can look on my CD, I can see it. And a lot of my fans wanted it, man. Like, they are, oh, you're gonna do a physical? Why are you gonna do physical? Do you get me? So a lot of people are scared of doing physical because of sales and that, but I did it as a giveaway, really. Like, if you buy a t-shirt, you get the CD, or if you just buy the CDs cheap, it's like £3 or something. It's not even, I'm not trying to make P off of it. It's just like, if you want it as a fan, you can get that. Like, it's nothing. I'm just trying to keep the fans, I'm just trying to stay in touch with them, you get me?
So you've got your own label, Brain Dead Entertainment, and you're also signed to Dirty Stank, the label which is the head honcho in charge, Dizzy Rascal.
Yeah, man.
How's life at Dirty Stank at the moment, man?
Crazy, man. It is sick. And being around someone as great as Diz, it's an honor, because you don't get to be near these people. Your average person just doesn't get to, like, witness a top artist make an album. Do you know what I mean? And even be a part of it. So yeah, man, I just feel blessed, man. Like, it's a very good place. I've learnt loads there. Cage is immense in the game. His brain is gold. Do you know what I mean? So it's a deeper learning curve and place to be. Do you know what I mean? Like, Dirty Stank, it's good to see as something works from the inside, and that's doing big things. Like, you underestimate it when you see Dizzy vocal a tune, and then but then you then see that tune everywhere and hear it everywhere, and like, it's like, wow, yeah, this is what's going on. You know what I mean? So yeah, you want a bit of that as well. It wakes you up to what is there for you as well. You know what I mean?